muffled laughter of his co-workers coming across the door. He thought it was about time for him to quit this part-time job too. While walking home, he spotted a woman lying down unconscious along the sidewalk. He nervously approached her, wondering if she had died, but she turned out to be nothing more than a passed-out drunk. A brown-haired woman wearing high-heeled boots, frayed jeans, and a white t-shirt, little to cover her bare stomach, seemed to read, "Please ring." Clicking his tongue in disgust, he quickly left the scene and headed home. Some few hours after returning home, he became suddenly worried for that woman earlier, so he headed back out to look for her. However, when he arrived at the place, she was no longer there. The voice of the daytime talk show host drifted inside his ear, where it triggered an electrical synapse that slowly awoke his brain. It seemed that he had slept for nearly 12 hours because of May's warm weather. After finally opening his half-closed eyes, he saw an amateur impressionist on TV trying to do an impression of some famous person he did not know. A popular comedian then told a joke to get the audience fired up, but to him, the events on screen couldn't seem less real. Like a conversation between people from the future of an alternate dimension, this show seemed nothing more than the happenings of a world far, far away from him. Feeling thirsty, he looked around the table for something to parch his throat, and he could only find half-drunk cans of coffee, as he considered what it would be like to just drink his own urine and excrete it back out, only to drink it again, and so forth. The sound of his mailbox being opened was heard. It startled him for a moment, but then he realized it was probably nothing more than the usual bills. After all, there was no other reason why anyone in this world would need to contact him for. The bills informed him that if he did not pay within 5 days, his electricity would be cut off. He wondered why he time and time again delayed doing these simple things. To do anything when living alone seemed to make things so hectic, yet to do nothing was so boring. At the bookstore just in front of his workplace, he read a guide on how to commit suicide. It seemed that hanging yourself from a doorknob was a good method. Holding the book in hand, he walked up to the register, but there he noticed a cute, round-faced, glasses-wearing female cashier being berated by a middle-aged male customer. For some reason, looking at her crying was enough to make him start crying, too. He imagined himself doing a sweeping leg throw on the mean old man and repeatedly punching him afterwards until his brain splattered out, but, of course, he had no such courage to actually carry it out. Unable to bear the scene any longer, he left the store without buying the book. He thought to himself that if he had the courage to kill himself, he should just have gone ahead and killed that man. He knew it, that was just how pathetic his weak-willed self was. In the part while eating the bread, he imagined himself going out to that female cashier and having sex. However, unless 10 miracles were to happen to him, it would be unlikely that such fantasy would ever come true. After much thought, he decided to ask his co-worker if he could join the mixer after all, but his co-worker replied that the number of party members had already been set and unfortunately could not be changed. Seeing the troubled look on his co-worker's face, he quickly stammered, "It's fine then, don't worry about me," all the while wondering just what exactly in his life was fine. Feeling a little embarrassed, he nervously laughed to himself before accidentally letting out a big snort. Soon afterwards, he was met by a stomachache, so he retreated to the washroom where he let out a great big shit like a middle-aged man with bowel problems.